Hello, beautiful friends. I've been a little bit quiet over the last few days, and I just thought I'd jump on and remind you to celebrate your successes in life. Sometimes we can get really caught up in the to-do lists and what we haven't achieved or where things went wrong or regret. And we can spend a lot of time here and we forget to celebrate how far we've come and the things that we have accomplished in our lives. So a little bit of a reminder for that today. And I also wanted to talk about shooting arrows of all things. But I heard a story over the weekend about I was a guy who was studying martial arts or some form of martial arts, and he was practicing to fire arrows into the air and, to use a bow and arrow. And he was randomly just firing arrows in the air and they were all going everywhere. And it was a metaphor for really not having when he put them into a target, then he actually got way better at what he was doing than when he was just randomly shooting arrows into the air. And, it's a great metaphor for life because we can sometimes just be cruising along and we might have lots of ideas that we put out there, but unless we've got a target, we don't often put the action that's required into moving towards the end goal. And I don't believe in having, really staunch goals because I think sometimes, that can be a little bit controlling as well. But it just made me think about when I wanted to move here to my land that I've got at the beach that I'm now building my house on. And I remember walking around my neighbourhood with a very good friend of mine, and we were looking at all the little cabins and the little houses and the different houses and the different things people were doing. And, we would, and she was saying to me, we just got to work out a way that you can do it, because every time I came here, I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to stay here and had all... I was constantly battling with my mind and trying really hard to think how I could do it, and then coming up with all the obstacles to doing it. And then one day I just decided that I was going to do it. And then I kind of let it go. And then I started having these just little epiphanies of, just do this, do this, do this. And wahoo, it's probably 2 years later, and I could have made it way simpler, that I'm now doing that. But I was overthinking it, and when I was overthinking it and kind of shooting arrows randomly in the air and nothing was kind of sticking, nothing was happening. I was just in a vicious cycle of keep coming here and then going away and, I just don't know how I'm going to make it happen. And slowly, I just let go, actually, of the other things that were holding me back. And then everything kind of just started to gain momentum. And, even things like finding builders and architects and, all the things you have to do with a house, they kind of just came to me. And I know it sounds really cliche, but it's really true. And I have always felt quite guided to be here, and I still don't exactly know why, because I don't know, I feel like I'm in a transitional stage, I guess, here. I mean, I felt that I belonged here ever since I actually drove here and just randomly coming to the town. And then, we found the section, then it was well within our price range, and even things like that have fallen into place. When I think about it, just even now, when I first came here, I actually was going to a friend's mum's funeral, and I got to the beach just a little bit along from me, and I pulled over. I couldn't believe that I'd never been to this place before, and I just felt like I'd come home. And after that, then I brought my then husband here a couple of times and we drove around and he liked it too. And then we started looking at sections, and then, we found this one, and it was unbelievable how cheap it was. We just found it right at the right time. And I now believe that everything happens for me in the right time now. And now I know that I don't, even if there's hold-ups or anything that might seem like it's a bit of a pain, It's always working out for me. It's always working out for me, and it really is. And believe me, I never had that mindset before. Like, it's quite incredible. Sometimes I catch myself and think, wow, I come from such a different mentality. But I've shifted so much because of everything I've learnt, everything I've trained in, that I realise now that everything that wasn't working out in my life was because of one of my core beliefs about myself, and that was that I was not worthy, I was not deserving, I was not lovable. And so then you have a scarcity, you have a scarcity mindset, and when you have a scarcity mindset about yourself, then that gets mirrored back to you within your relationships, within the amount of money that you are drawing to you, the experiences that you have, the friendships that you have. It just spills out into absolutely everything. And when you start opening your mind and start, like I've talked about, noticing your thoughts and your ways of thinking and ways of doing things, and get some self-awareness, that's when, and you're willing to do something different, because if we keep doing the same thing, we get the same results. Your life can just transform. So today I'd like you to think about, are you shooting arrows just everywhere about the things that you want in life? Are you just letting life happen to you instead of making life happen for you? Sorry about the builders there outside. It's a bit noisy. But, we're quite often, I realised just a year ago, oh my gosh, I've actually created everything in my life without even really being aware of it. And once you know that you are creating everything in your life and you have got that realisation, man, you can really, really change things if things aren't working out for you. And realise that everything that's happened to you has actually happened for you as well, so that you can learn from it. That's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. But, everything that happens to you, you can have a perspective on it. You can have the victim mentality of, everything happens to me and I'm powerless and I can't do anything about it. Or actually, through that experience, through that happening to me, I learnt this about myself, or I learnt this so that I can change the things in my life. I'm grateful for every experience that I have now, and believe me, I did not have that mentality a few years back before I did this work. So if you would like some help to turn things around in your life and to work with me and do some energy work, some coaching work, then DM me or look me up on my website, synchronise.co.nz, and we can shift some obstacles out of your way, some belief systems that are hindering. Maybe you're stuck in an area of your life. Maybe you want more from life and don't have a clue where to start. Maybe you're suffering from confidence and anxiety issues. I've been there, done all of that. It's been a long journey, and I'm proud to say that I don't really have those problems anymore. Anxiety comes up a little bit for me here and there. I have tools to deal with it. So I always feel empowered. And when you're lacking confidence, you're feeling powerless. So, if you want to know more, if you just want to have a chat about things and you're not sure, then feel free to reach out, contact me. I'm here to help you, and I'd love to connect with you. So have an awesome day, and I will catch you soon.